Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video. Part 4. Afterwards, we started up a meeting after Geese returned. A gathering where everyone shows their face, including the standby group. It's while keeping an eye on Roxy's condition, but I'm thinking we'll do the next exploration in 3 days. The director Geese was informing us of this. Isn't that a bit too fast? The one who responded like that was Paul. Exploring a labyrinth unexpectedly wears down on your nerves. Especially a place like the teleport labyrinth that are filled with traps, where you have no choice other than to fight, while being careful not to take a wrong step while fighting. Still, putting aside the rear guard, like myself, the burden on the 2 advance guards is big. I'm sure it's better for Roxy to enter a labyrinth sooner, rather than later, to correct herself. Ah, I see, I get it now. Certainly, that's true. Paul nodded, but I couldn't agree with it a bit. Isn't it severe on Roxy, as well, to suddenly re-enter after her life was in danger? Doesn't Sensei need just a bit more rest for a short while? Senpai might not know this, but if a time comes up when you almost die in a labyrinth, if you don't re-enter it soon after, you'll catch a curse that will make it so you can never enter a labyrinth again. Curse? Is there that sort, as well? Yeah, I don't really know why, but after you're imprisoned in a labyrinth and fearful of death, you end up being unable to do anything, it seems. I've read about something like that in a manga, in my previous life. A variety of panic disorder. The so-called PTSD. As a medical treatment to cope with it, I have heard that it's good to repeat the mistake you made soon after to cure it, as well. I guess that means those sorts of things are the same in every world. Besides, Senpai is a beginner at labyrinths. It'll be better to enter a number of times at a short pace, to gain some experience, I'm sure. I see now, that makes sense. After that conversation, the surrounding faces all opened their mouths. I can lecture, if it's on moving while using both attack and healing magic. It's probably better not to use the method Rudy used, or breaking down walls, to advance very much. There's the danger of a collapse. If you'd like, I can go to the front. I just thought, but Paul, would you like to switch positions with me? Everyone had started talking about their impressions from last time and opinions on next time. Geese, the director, was putting them into order. Everyone's serious. I thought it would be done more on the spot, but it seems that isn't the case. Even if it's rotten, this is still a party of S-rank adventurers, I guess. In regards to this meeting, the things I had to say were few. It was just to the level of others asking about my thoughts on entering a labyrinth for my first time. They're pros, I'm an amateur. No matter how good I am with magic, I'm sure it's no good if I forget about that premise. Even if it went well the last time, it's not limited to going well this time as well. For the time being, next time I'd like to advance to clearing the 3rd floor. It's dependent on the developments, but I'd at least like to search until we find the magic circle to the 4th floor. Is that fine? No objections. Fundamentally, we continue ahead until we find the stairs to the next floor, and then decide whether we'll continue or return later. In the case that we return later, afterwards, we take a straight line back to the point where we made it last time, and advance the exploration. Last time, we descended down to the 3rd floor, all at once, but it isn't limited to this time. Since it seems that the longer a trip runs, the greater probability that we'll fall into a trap, I guess, we greatly desire speed. Come to think of it, according to the book, it seems the 4th floor gives off a completely different feeling. Becoming like ruins or something. In other words, it could be possible that there's a newer section as well. Well, that's what we should consider next time after the 3rd floor. Next time it's the 3rd floor. Yeah. It seems when labyrinths, which exist for a long time, attach to adjacent labyrinths, they become situations with 2 magic crystals at the heart. In such labyrinths, it seems the feeling of the labyrinth changes midway through it. It seems that such a characteristic matches up with the teleport labyrinth. Even though I say that, it seems that not all labyrinths with those characteristics have 2 magic crystals either. It's only limited to being a possible problem. According to the book, there should only be 1 magic crystal in the teleport labyrinth. However, there's the possibility that it wasn't originally a teleport labyrinth but just a normal labyrinth you can find anywhere else. Then it collided with some kind of ruins, and became the teleport labyrinth, as well. Some kind of ruins. Right, for example, teleport ruins. What is that, a book you say? And the Roxy voiced a question. It's a book that Rudy brought along. It seems to be a memo of some fellows that cleared down to the lowest level of the teleport labyrinth. Roxy, you should read it as well. Geese handed over the book in question to Roxy. There was this sort of thing, I understand, I'll carefully read through it tomorrow. It seems Roxy's plan for tomorrow is reading. Then I'll stay in the inn as well. I want to talk with Roxy more, though I don't know what would be good to talk about with Roxy. If she's reading the book, then I guess it would be fine to talk about the contents of that book. The asking Roxy and the teaching yeah, that's nice. Quite nice. Well then, it's about the formation, but let's tamper with it a bit. Talhand, take over. While I was thinking that, the topic progressed to the next stage. Talhand cleared his voice with a cough. This man decides the formation. It's because he was in the very back and saw over the scene the most. Leave it to me. Nevertheless, he stinks of alcohol. This man always smells like alcohol. When it comes to night, Geese drinks as he's bathing in it as well, but Talhand continues to drink throughout the day. Although, once we start exploring the labyrinth, he stops drinking for a period. I wonder if he's a man capable of switching habits on and off. The basics won't change from how they were until now. Prepared on the table was a paper with 2 lines drawn on it and small stones with different colors. First, Talhand placed the light blue stone. First, just the same before, Roxy is the rear guard. Yes. Roxy nodded. And then, right next to that he placed a gray stone. Rudeus is Roxy's support. Roxy is the type that makes mistakes when things happen outside of her assumptions, but Rudeus possesses the foresight demon eye. Unlike his age, he's considerably calm as well. He should be able to keep any mistakes in check beforehand. Yes. It's a remark almost as if Roxy isn't composed enough. I'd like to object, but Roxy did make a mistake and step on a teleport magic circle after all. It will become a snake in the bush. But, after giving it some thought, I can't predict things that I can't see with my foresight eye. In other words, I have no choice other than to watch Roxy. If I think of it, it's a just cause to have Roxy always in my field of vision while in the middle of exploring the labyrinth. It's not bad in my regard. Imagining myself watching Roxy, I start to feel happier after all. Let's try having Paul and Elinalise change places. Paul is in front and Elinalise is in the back. While saying that, Talhand switched the red stone, Paul, with the yellow stone, Elinalise. Even though that's the case, they're almost side by side. I'm sure it's more of a change of roles. Previously, their main roles were Elinalise being the shield and Paul being the support, but this time it's the reverse. Paul is the main shield, and Elinalise is the support. Geese is the same as previously. Talhand placed the light brown stone far ahead. And then, finally he put his own stone protecting the middle. I don't think it will be necessary, but there's a large number of enemies on the 3rd floor. I'll become a wall between the rear guard and advance guard. Scout. Geese advance guard. Paul, main, and Elinalise, support, middle guard, Talhand rear guard, Roxy, main, and Rudeus, support. It's become this formation. Excluding Geese, it's become a feeling kind of like the 5 bamboo mahjong tile. The formation of Windbreaker might be close. Are there any comments? I raised my hand to those words. Is it fine to assume my fundamental role hasn't changed? Humu. In regards to the minor coordination, it would be good to talk it out well with Roxy. After hearing those words, I look at Roxy. She looked at me and, with a somewhat nervous expression, swallowed deeply with a, "Go Cory, I understand. Sensei, I'm in your care. Yes, look after me as well. I'll give it my best to not drag your feet down. Rather, the one who would be the one pulling legs down would be me, though. I wish Roxy would be more confident than she is. Certainly, in terms of aggregate magic power and the number of magic that we can use, I might win. However, higher strength status doesn't decide everything. By adding in experience, she truly displays the real worth of strength. If we were to consider those, I think Roxy is above me. She remained trapped in the teleport labyrinth for a month, and she continued to fight there until the end. Not to mention Roxy's mentality, that she'll even go back down again only a few days after it like nothing happened is amazing. If it was me, and I got into her severe situation, then I'm sure I'd vow to never go into a labyrinth again. The wise man does not approach danger. It's fine to rephrase it as chicken. I'm a coward. Alright, this side should be fine like this. Next is talking about the standby group. After that, Geese quickly gave out directions to the standby group. Geese handed a list to Vera for things to buy while we're exploring. Shira described Roxy's condition and then prepared medical treatment items based on Zenith's expected conditions. And then, Geese asked Lilia to do a good job putting the other two into order. If the exploration group leader is Geese, then the standby group leader would be Lilia. Then the party leader is Paul. If you were to ask what this leader does, it would be making the final decisions in a roll call. Alright, then everyone, in preparation for 3 days from now disperse. With Paul's command, we all broke up. Part 5 next day. I was loitering around, again, in the surroundings of Roxy, who was reading on the first floor of the inn. I wanted her to ask me if there was anything she didn't know. Not anyone else, but me. Rudy, yes, what is it? Sensei, you're distracting me wandering around in front of me. Roxy said that while smiling bitterly. Please excuse me. I lowered my head and planned to leave that place. I see, I'm distracting her. That's right, isn't it? I'm just a hindrance to her reading, aren't I? It's no good to be a hindrance. That's not my real intention. I just wanted to be of help to Sensei. But, it can't be helped. If I'm a hindrance, then it can't be helped. I'll go somewhere. That's right, I'll go to some kind of unpopular bar. Occasionally, it might be good to drink alone. Let's do that. Rudy. However, there I heard a voice call out to me from behind. If you have the spare time to keep wandering around, there are various points in this book that I don't get. So, please tell me. Yes. I immediately sat down next to Roxy. I think it was the fastest mock in the world. If I had a dog's tail attached, I'm sure it would appear to be floating in the air from how fast it would be wagging around. Where is it? Please ask anything. At any rate, Roxy is really small. I'm sure it's in part related to the fact that my body is bigger, though. If I were to put her on top of my lap, I'm sure I would snugly be able to wrap her up. I'm sure she would get angry if I were to place her there, though. And then I look, Roxy is looking at me with slanted, upturned eyes. What's wrong, Sensei? After asking that, Roxy quickly turned away and faced the book. No, it's nothing at all. It's about this part though, before one knows, I've considerably outgrown her after all. She might be mortified over it. It seems she's bothered over her short height after all. While such exchanges continued, I spent almost a full day reading together with Roxy. I'm satisfied. That's it guys, thank you for watching, subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.